This week's Race of the Week, well, technically we're cheating actually. This is from the previous week, as we had a weekend without any broadcasts. Very unusual for us here at Alpha Live. But it was the UKC from Dunkeswell Junior Rotax final, which was decided by 0.02 of a second over the line. With no tail racing throughout, this is certainly worthy of a Race of the Week.
Fruition of the repechage. We go racing then. It's 14 minutes plus the lap. Jacob Ashcroft alongside Matteo Palazzo towards turn number 1. Defensive immediately goes the 246 of Ashcroft, trying to cover off that inside. We've seen how powerful it can be. The 147 as well, trying to get involved. There's a couple of cuts off in the background, hitting some bumps, rejoining the circuit, gaining maybe a couple of places as well. That's the 232 of Riley Bishop, and a kart there slowed down. It's the 14 of Alfie McBain. Yellow flags being waved in the first sector, but the racing does not stop through the rest of the lap. Side by side, I think Finley Buck was able to get the jump on Matteo Palazzo, going to show how powerful starting third place on the grid is. It's the 14 still being recovered, so the yellow flag still being waved. That's going to bring everyone to sort of a slight standstill through the first part of the lap, and even more drama as on the exit of the penultimate hairpin. There's a driver into the barrier, can't quite catch as to who that is. They're now rejoining the circuit. That's going to be a bump, maybe a bruise, and maybe a damaged car to go with it. Yellow flags being waved, and a full course yellow in fact as well. Actually, we've got the Bannenberg flag out. And that's going to neutralise this race. Matteo Palazzo was able to find his way back through on Finley Buck, but they're still racing out there. They're still going side by side. The Bannenberg flag is very clearly shown, so the full course yellow in effect. That's going to neutralise this race. Jacob Ashcroft, though, really got off to a very nice start indeed, and was able to control the race. And like we've been saying, starting on the outside, and you heard, I think, Edwin Matthews say in the 177 interviews as well, starting on the outside here at Dunkeswell, because it's a long right-hander for turn 1, starting third place, if you can just nip your way up the inside and get that braking, you can just take a shorter line and pretty much find your way a free position. Starting second is more a burden than it is a blessing. Matteo Palazzo then was forced to concede, and we saw it earlier as well in the minis with Max Jolly getting caught out by being on the outside of the circuit. He was able to find his way through, though, did Palazzo. So we've got the top 2 in the championship, top 2 in this race. Still under full course yellow, so 12 minutes plus the lap is ticking down. But just as a run through, Matteo Palazzo got off to a slow start to the season. His best result at Wilton Mill was a 5th. His final result was a 13th. He then bounced back for Larkhall with a win, a second, a win, and a third place, making the most of Ashcroft's poor day. I think maybe getting the tyres wrong in the final race. He then comes into today, finishes second to Ashcroft in Heat 1, wins his group's Heat 2, wins his Super Heat. Jacob Ashcroft and Palazzo have been matched all weekend long. It now comes down to this to see who wins the weekend here at Dunkeswell. Both of them have got the capability to do it. Who's going to stand out on top? Finley Buck as well is involved. He's down in P8 in the championship. A best result of second place, though, has taken place here at Dunkeswell, and also back at Wilton Mill as well. Scored some really good points for the first race of the year. So he could be one to watch. Also, you've got Zane Quecker, who's made some good progress. You can see there the marshals making sure the tyre barrier is repaired, making sure all the carts go around them before they continue the work, make sure it's in the right place as to catch the drivers when they need to be caught. Yeah, interesting to see what happened there for the driver that unfortunately was involved. I didn't quite catch who it was, but yeah, just running a little bit wide, similar to what we saw actually in the 177s, just to open up the steering and the kart wandered its way into the barrier. You've also then got the 14 kart as well. That's Alfie McBain's Rotax that's out of this race, was spun around on the opening lap and unable to continue. So that's his day done as well in the super final for Junior Rotax. But marshals, of course, like we always say, working very, very hard to get this race back underway as soon as possible. I think we've got the green flag ready to go racing again. They'll come round through the last part of the lap. There'll be effectively a race restart. Jacob Ashcroft will lead Matteo Palazzo, who'll try and get as close to the rear bumper of the 246 as possible. And Jacob Ashcroft needs similar race start skill that he just showed for the first one, because Matteo Palazzo is going to be all over his rear end. He's not forced into formation. He's tucked up right behind Ashcroft. So he's fully capable of getting just an equally good start as the 246. He needs to apply some pressure. He's had the pace this weekend. Green flag will wave. Ashcroft controls the pace, becomes the effective safety car and punches it through the chicane. We go racing once again here at Dunkeswell for Junior Rotax. Green flag waves, and Ashcroft leads us across the line. Defensive in the background, you can see Charlie Wolf, I think Daniel Kilpatrick trying to put some pressure. Lewis Sumner involved as well. Through turn number 1. And it's Jacob Ashcroft that leads. Matteo Palazzo applying some pressure, looking to go around the outside of the double hairpin sequence. Gets a really good acceleration off the second part as well, and could be applying some pressure to the world champion, who has to go defensive. The inside opens up over the curb. Matteo Palazzo runs wide. Here comes the 07 of Finley Buck to take the race lead. The 246 of Ashcroft, he's in trouble. Around the outside goes Albi Lapper to take what is going to be third place off him. Matteo Palazzo got squeezed. He did not concede. He ran in deep, and he stays in second place at the peril of Jacob Ashcroft, who's now fallen to the back end of the podium and behind Matteo Palazzo, but Finley Buck was the beneficiary of that one. The 07 now leads this race, defensive towards turn number 1. They're ducking, they're diving, they're searching for some space. Matteo Palazzo gets the up and under, doesn't quite get the acceleration towards this boot section. Defensive goes Finley Buck. He's in a golden opportunity to capitalise here. 8 minutes plus a lap still to go. Matteo Palazzo has shown his cards. He's shown how aggressive he can be. Ascend to the inside once again through the hairpin. Finley Buck gets caught out. Jacob Ashcroft back up the inside. Looks to go the long way around to the second part of the hairpin. There's more drama. The 20 of Daniel Kilpatrick is round in the barrier, facing the wrong way. Recovers back into this race. It's Palazzo, now from Ashcroft, now from Buck, the top 3. Junior Rotax never disappoints. And under pressure immediately is Palazzo. He's got a world champion on his tail. He's got his championship rival on his tail. He has to go defensive to turn number 1. That could allow the switch back there. Maybe for Ashcroft, who's applying so much pressure. Just over half of this race still to run. Finley Buck nearly got his day in the sun. But the quick capitalisation, the quick rebound there from Matteo Palazzo, who looks over his shoulder, immediately goes to the inside to defend. Ashcroft goes with him. Finley Buck goes with them as well to avoid being overtaken from behind, as Albi Lapper and Zane Kweka look very, very aggressive just over his shoulder. It seems that Buck is actually eyeing up Ashcroft more than Ashcroft is eyeing up Palazzo. He needs a couple of laps under, no pressure to build a bit of a gap. That was incredible aggression from Palazzo. He just got squeezed. There was a cart's width of room, maybe just 0.9 of a cart's width of room, and he used all of it and then some. Launched himself over the curb, ran in deep, couldn't quite get the cart turned in because he was at such a tighter line. And that just ran Ashcroft in so much deeper because they were both so aggressive. Neither of them wanted to concede. Neither of them did concede. And then Finley Buck was able to do a Max Jolly of earlier on and capitalise. It's back to the status quo though. Once again, Palazzo defensive into the hairpin, doing exactly what he needs to do. Look out for Zane Kweka, Albi Lapper as well. Lurking at the back of this train. If anything goes on in front, they're going to be the ones to capitalise. And you've also got to be careful of contact warnings and that drop down. We saw it potentially rob our Joshua Golan, our Rotax 177 winner, by a bit of unfortunate contact. Instant 5-second penalty. Palazzo looking over his shoulder, having to go slightly defensive into turn number 1, though Ashcroft has got the room to maybe go for a switch back. Bites off a bit more than he can chew, turns it a bit too early. So that's going to allow Palazzo some breathing room, although still under a ton of pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ultimate karting championship. These are the stars of the future here today. Palazzo once again defending Jacob Ashcroft. Palazzo came so close to a victory at Larkhall. He was leading the majority of the race. It was a slight mistake, a slight misjudgment in the wet weather that cost him there. It was a podium in Scotland. Can he take the victory here in Devon? Defensive again into this final chicane. You don't often need to be, but Ashcroft will find the space, will find the room, will find the move, as jumping over the chicane in the background as well, forcing Palazzo to the inside. There's 4 carts defending as to cover off any thought of a dive from those behind. It's just a huge train. It's all aboard the Palazzo Express. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we think of this in the YouTube chat? This is amazing stuff. Palazzo has got a defensive masterclass, but it only takes one small mistake for Jacob Ashcroft to find a way through. Time is ticking. Time of the essence. Ashcroft needs to get a move on. There's skirmishes all throughout the field. The level of competition in Junior Rotax is unmatched in British karting. Hani Sadiq down in 19th place is the driver with the fastest lap, as is the case because no one is hot lapping at the front. They're all defending, they're all battling They're all demonstrating such high levels of racecraft. The switchback opens up. Jacob Ashcroft side by side momentarily with Matteo Palazzo, who slams the door in his face at the earliest opportunity, but that was a near look. A good effort from the 246. Who now has a little bit of space, breaks a bit too late. Palazzo just aiming that car at the apex there. Not giving an inch in terms of track space, not even allowing Jacob Ashcroft to think of going for a move to the inside of that particular hairpin, because he knows he's going to do it. He knows at some point if he leaves the door open, Ashcroft will capitalise with zero hesitation. That is the cutthroat instinct of a world champion. At just 13 years of age, Jacob Ashcroft is years beyond what his experience should tell you. Matteo Palazzo as well, a very young driver and a star of the future as well. These are races that, again, like I was saying at Larkhall, when they're racing in Formula 1, when they're racing at the highest level of GT3s, when they're succeeding in life, you come back and you watch this. Round 3 of the Ultimate Karting Championship at Dunkeswell. You see the defensive masterclass put on by Palazzo. You see the offensive masterclass put on by Ashcroft. You see the capitalization from Finley Buck. And look at that. Jacob Ashcroft goes for the lead. It well benefits Finley Buck, who once again gets underneath the pair of them. Ashcroft, a slight mistake there. Palazzo now down toward his third place. Finley Buck just had to wait in the wings. He was hunting for so long, circling his prey, and as soon as he saw the move, he capitalized. Once again, with 3 minutes left to go, Ashcroft looked to go to the inside. There's a cut off, 2 carts off into turn number 1. It's the 13 and the 11. Quecker and Buchan take each other out through turn 1. Yellow flags waved into the opening corner. Junior Rotax has had it all. Matteo Palazzo looking over his shoulder. Jacob Ashcroft still in second place, now contending with Finley Buck for the race lead. He saw the gap open up into this hairpin, waited for the driver in front to open up the corner, then sent the move to the inside. It didn't work then. Will it work now? Hop, skip and a jump for the 28 of Luca Holmes-Balak. What is this race? 2 minutes, 11 seconds, plus the lap on the clock. The top 3 inseparable. No move there from Ashcroft into turn number 1. Palazzo, though, will be looking to get his own back. I mean, they've been giving, they've been taking. The aggression has been seen on both sides. One person gives it, the other person gives it right back. Finley Buck, though, has been so mellow in this race, just waited for the opportunities to come to him, and now they're squabbling for second place. Ashcroft so late on the brakes to cover off Palazzo. Albi Lapper, Sumner involved as well. Coming down to the closing stages of this race. Will Finley Buck go for the victory? It'll be his best result of the season. It'll be his first final win of 2025. It will end the streak of Jacob Ashcroft. He's got 3 laps left to hang on to victory. The gap has opened up to a couple of kart lengths. It gives him some breathing room. Has he got the pace to get away from Ashcroft? They're side by side as well. The 95 of Charlie Wolfett versus Riley Bishop. That's the fight for 7th. Oh, there's contact. Palazzo nipping the rear end of Jacob Ashcroft. That's allowed Albi Lapper to get in close. Palazzo, who was once contending, once leading this race. It's just been a movable object versus unstoppable force in this race. Jacob Ashcroft versus Matteo Palazzo. What a rivalry that's beginning to brew there between the pair of them. Finley Buck. And again, when you talk about Palazzo and Ashcroft and their pace this weekend, it's been amazing. And the defensive masterclass and the aggression has been there. But a slight misjudgment, a slight bit of desperation, maybe a personal vendetta is to be a bit more aggressive with each other. And Finley Buck said, you know what, thanks guys, I'm going to capitalise, not once, but twice. The exact same thing, just on different occasions. Look over his shoulder though, Jacob Ashcroft, the pressure is back on. The switchback is there, there's a bit of side-to-side contact. Finley Buck though has the inside once more, able to defend his position. Just feeling the pressure. The clock ticks 0, the penultimate lap of the race. It comes down to one final tour of Dunkeswell for the Ultimate Karting Championship, the halfway point of the Junior Rotax 2025 season. And Jacob Ashcroft is throwing everything to keep his streak of wins alive. Defensive to the inside through turn number 1, a look over his shoulder, reacting to what the 246 is going to do. Has he got the switchback? A slight snap of oversteer on the exit. Finley Buck constantly under pressure, defending every possible gap. Has he got the exit towards the hairpin? He's going to defend. He's got to defend. Jacob Ashcroft, is there space to the inside? No, there's not. Opportunities wearing thin. There's no space to the hairpin. Finley Buck knows wiser than that than to give Ashcroft a little bit of space. Now it comes down to the hairpin for the final time. Has Palazzo got any say in this? Finley Buck, a driver that has capitalised so well in this race, has got 2 more corners left to go here at Dunkeswell for the Junior Rotax Super Final, round number 3 of the Ultimate Karting Championship here at Dunkeswell. It's a drag race to the line. Finley Buck takes victory. Just 2 thousandths of a second between himself and Jacob Ashcroft, who got the run to the line, who was side by side, and towards turn number 1 won the drag race. But Finley Buck hangs on to victory.